Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy BurCG back here, and today we're back for another Marvel's Avengers video. And I'm gonna be kind of giving my thoughts on what I think about Black Bolt being a character in the game and the story behind the Inhumans. This is all just coming out in my mind and what the game potentially could get into, because it would be an interesting thing to see Black Bolt just because of the history he has, as well as what could pertain to currently what's going on in the game. So first, I'll kind of give you a little bit of a rundown of the Inhumans. I'm pretty sure that they tell you in the game to some degree what the Inhumans, like how they were created, but I don't know if they say it outright. I know in one of these audio logs between Thor and Bruce, they do talk about it though. Yeah, they talk about, I believe, the Kree. I'm not sure word for word, but it is the Kree who basically at some point came to Earth. They were experimenting prior to Earth. They were trying to get this thing so they could make warriors, and I believe they infused Kree blood with humans, and it was a match. It worked, and these humans now are Inhumans, and they have abilities, and Kree want them to fight for them, probably in the Kree Skull War, I believe. I think there's probably been some different iterations of how they were created, but I'm pretty sure that's like the main story. So yeah, they wanted some warriors, and at some point, these Inhumans basically rebelled. And if you notice that Kree sentry right there, you have to think about who took that Kree sentry down years ago. How was it down? Because that thing, while MODOK was using his, technokinesis abilities to control it, but if you think about it, like that alone, like at the time when technology was so primitive at the time, and you have people who have abilities but are still probably new to their abilities in a sense, like that's a pretty big thing to take down. Like you have to really consider that. So there were some powerful people back then. Now I don't know how they could have gotten into building Attilan, but basically we know that Inhumans back then rebelled, because there's no way that Kree sentry wouldn't have been down there. Anywho, let's move on into the beacon. So the beacon flew off, and hopefully most of you can assume that the Kree are going to come back to Earth, because that's really the only thing I could see them doing. I don't really see a reason for us to go straight into Carol Danvers just yet, because that could be something totally different. Like I said, this is just a potential theory. I'm not saying that Black Bolt's going to come to the game or anything, but it would make a lot of sense if he did, considering that the Inhumans are his people and he would want to save them. But yeah, I'm going to assume that beacon went out to some specific Kree that were on the project, or the Supreme Intelligence is aware now that the beacon was sent back out, and there are now either Inhumans on Earth again, or it's just the beacon letting them know that something took us down, we need backup. And I could only assume that it's going to be a massive army of Kree coming, led by, who knows, I don't know, Ronin or somebody else, who knows. It's going to be an interesting concept to see just in itself of what that beacon is really telling for us, because I'm not sure what the timeline is for that either. All right, we're going to get the Hawkeye and Kate Bishop stuff, and then presumably some Black Panther stuff, so I don't know when we're going to get into space stuff, hopefully rather sooner than later. But let's move on to Black Bolt himself. So as I said before a few minutes ago, I want Black Bolt to come in and kind of just save people. I think that it'd be an easy storyline to follow, but it makes sense on a level of which the Inhumans on Earth were getting killed and having their powers taken and implemented into these adaptoids. Now, those Quinjets or whatever it was that were flying out, that were going to be dispersing that dark Terrigen to Inhumans, while it may not have gotten out to the world and they ultimately seemed to stop it, there are still a lot of Inhumans that were in SF that probably expanded out. And who knows, all those Terrigen crystals, that some of them definitely could have gotten into somebody else's hands at some point. We don't know for sure, but there's always room for possibility. But Black Bolt coming to give people of Earth that are humans a chance to leave Earth or come to his city above the sky, Attilan, I think that would be an interesting thing that they could pull off. Black Bolt himself as a character, I don't know what they could really do if they, because they might have to show like everybody. I don't know how deep they would go for that. If they would do all those models, because we'd only be getting like one character to play as, and then everybody else would be an NPC, like Medusa and the rest of the royal family and whatnot. But that's kind of where I want to see them go with that kind of story, because I do think it is interesting to have him come back and be established in this universe as the king of Attilan, and have Medusa be the queen of Attilan as well. So we could have, more expansion into the, Inhuman, mythos, lore, and whatnot, because they tie so heavily into Kree. And if Captain Marvel comes and she is tied to Kree, why not just give us a full circle and say, okay, this is what's going on. This is why they're here. Let's put a stop to them. They're not going to come back here after we do this. Yada, 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 yada. Because we already know, these next 3 DLCs that we're getting seem like they're going to be focused more on the Earth stuff. I don't know how much of that time travel stuff is going to take place. Like if they're actually going to go back in time or forward in time or whatnot in that DLC that they showed for Kate Bishop and Hawkeye. But I'll look forward to it. I look forward to it either way. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you guys think that Black Bolt coming would be a nice addition for them to kind of bring it full scale and give us Attilan, as an even potential hub to walk around in with, people? Because it would be interesting to see Kamala interact with people just like her and be like, wow, there's a whole city of people like me that, no one knew about. Do I take this opportunity and go, or do I stay? And obviously she would stay because she wants to help people. That's her goal. She wants to help people and just, spread positivity throughout the world. But she probably would be able to go back there every so now and again. And it would be cool just to have, you have Lockjaw there, and plus you have Inhumans in the Anthill. You give them an option to leave, that gives room for maybe more Hank stuff, since now that the Anthill is not in use anymore for housing Inhumans. He starts working on some other projects, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say it here, but you know what I'm saying? It starts with the U and it ends with the N. You never know. That's just kind of my theory, though. I kind of would hope that they do that, because it just makes everything come full scale, and it just makes it more enjoyable, They did say there are characters that we're not going to be expecting, and I gotta say Black Bolt is a character I wouldn't expect to come to the game, because I haven't really seen him come in games like this except for mobile games. But anyways, I'm going to keep it short and cut it right here, you guys. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, or what other characters you think could fit into the story. I definitely have a feeling Daisy Johnson will be coming at one point, just because they did tease it way, way, way early in the game. And I believe I saw her in the files when that got leaked back in the 3rd beta on PC, I believe. So you never know. But let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.